am Jamie Shapiro, the founder owner of Silver Linings Transitions. As someone who works with divorcing clients, I find that it's very common for people to have an attachment to keeping the home. And, sometimes that makes sense for them. But what I'm here today to tell you about or share with you is my own experience and why, if you can let go of the attachment to keeping the home, you might be a lot better off. In my situation, I was the one that had to leave the marital home. It simply didn't make sense for me to stay there. So whether I could afford the payments or not, there were other fees that were tied up in owning and keeping the house. Of course, the lawn and the water bill and the electric bill. And it just really became too much for me. So I actually was in a situation where my former partner bought me out of the house, and I am the one that left. And I want to share my experience with you because I think a lot of times people stay in the home partly because they're just completely overwhelmed and they don't know how they're going to get out. And I want to share my story with you and what it is that Silver Linings Transitions does, but also to encourage you to entertain the idea that maybe staying in the home isn't something that you have to do. So I moved out on January 9th, which was the week after all of the holidays. This was actually a New Year's Eve party I hosted in my home. And as you can see, there wasn't a single box. In fact, I didn't pack or unpack a single box during my move. And anyone that works with us is in that same situation. So the only thing that I had to do to get ready for my move was to identify what items I was going to take and what items I was going to leave behind. Now, sometimes people are capable of doing that on their own. And in this case, we were very amicable about what was going to be kept and what wasn't going to be left behind. But we are able to help people when they do need help dividing belongings. In this situation, anything that I knew that I wanted to pack was pink, and my team knew that that meant that they should pack it and bring it to the new place. The only other thing that we did was that I took any of the memories that were related to our marriage or items that I didn't necessarily want to discard, but I didn't want to see it on a daily basis, and I packed those away. Now, some of them were items for my kids, and some of them were items from the marriage, but we were a family, and this is heritage and history for our children, but it isn't something that you need to see on a daily basis. So those things got packed up. So this was actually the morning of my move. You can see that no boxes, and I got out of my unmade bed and I left for the day. And then my team, the Silver Linings Transitions Miracle Workers, came in, and it's a very personal experience, by the way, to have people going through all of your belongings. So it's really important that you feel comfortable and you trust the people that are doing that. And I think that's one of the things that sets the Silver Linings Transitions team apart. But I had a pretty big master bath and closet, a home office, and a whole home that needed to be packed, including my underwear, which ended up getting organized. And, we let our clients tell us what they want us to do and what they don't want us to do. I took advantage of the idea that I was going to be organized. I'm not a very organized person, and many of the people on the team are. So I was really excited to come into a fresh space and have it organized. But this was the team packing my kitchen and my bedroom and my underwear. And this was the new space. So you can see that, and let me just break down the move. So the morning before the movers arrived, the team showed up to pack up my old home. I slept in my bed that night. I was able to make coffee in the morning, and they came back. One or two team members came back the next morning to meet the movers, to finish packing up those last minute items, take the linens off my bed. So you're able to sleep in your home, in your bed every single night. You're never in a hotel, and you get to live pretty comfortably. So this was the morning of my unpack when the movers arrived with all of the boxes. And you can see that I had furniture that had to be reconfigured because the space was different. And this was my home office, which had been in upstairs off the master, and they were able to reconfigure it and get it all decorated. This was my closet, which I don't know if you can tell, but was very, very organized by color, by short sleeves, sleeveless. This was my kitchen the night before the move, and this was them redoing my kitchen. Now, something that happened for me, and it was really one of the best parts, is that I didn't have to unpack a single box, but there were things that they had done to decorate that I absolutely loved, would never have thought of doing it. But what was really nice for me is that all I needed to do was go in and do the final touches and make it my own. So I didn't have to stress out. I just really got to enjoy my space. So it turns out in my situation, and this is a lesson that we learned on my own move, I had a sectional that I intended to take with me, which should have easily fit into the floor, onto the floor plan, but it turns out that the couch was too big to make it up the stairway. So I ended up needing to get a new couch, which was not my original plan. It was something that I ended up really enjoying, but we look at all of the details for our clients. And so you can see that there was a sectional and an empty space. And by the end of the day, there was a filled space. So this was my bedroom. And they took pillows that had been in my bedroom before and put them back in my bedroom. And by the night that I moved in, you can kind of see the sun is setting. I had a bed to sleep in that was fully made. My daughter's rooms were completely unpacked and everything was put away. Bathroom was done, towels were out. This was my garage. So the night that I moved into my home, I was able to park 2 cars in my 2-car garage. I didn't have to worry about any boxes. I also loved a lot of the designer details, but the home organizing. So one of the things that I always tell people, after a move, you're always stressed out. You're looking for your coffee pot. And if you've done your own packing and you're doing your own unpacking, then you're probably dealing with a sea of boxes. But in my case, everything was put away. And not only could I find my coffee pot, I had a coffee station. They had created putting mugs above the coffee pot and putting the sugars and the creamers and not creamers, but the sugars and the coffee right next to the coffee pot where it would make sense. And then I had a beautifully organized pantry. They also did some really cool touches that I didn't even know about. They made a little earring display place for me in my closet, and they redid my patio and moved some things like that light tree to make the space beautiful and different. I got to come in and experience the big reveal like my clients do, and it was really exciting for me and my kids. As I mentioned, there were some things that I didn't like, or the couch that didn't fit. So it meant that I had to redo my space. One of the things that we do is we do go back and we help our clients, and we will rehang pictures if they don't like the way we've done them, but we want to help make it their own space. We'll also hang drapery, we'll hang shelves, but I wanted to show the after and what was done, because I didn't love the way the pictures had gone, but I brought the team back in and they just created a beautiful space for me. And I ended up, as I said, not being able to use the sectional, and it was an excuse to go and buy a new couch, not my plan. But it was a really great experience for me, rather than me feeling stressed out and overwhelmed by how I was going to pack everything up and unpacking. And this was another collage that they created. I love having a group of women who are organizers and decorators, and it is like getting your home completely unpacked and organized and decorated simultaneously. The services that we provide include the inventory division. So that's helping people when there is a little bit of contention between who gets what. I will go in and help them divide the belongings. We'll do the packing and the unpacking for one or both parties, decorating, even going back several times if you don't like what we've done, home organizing, and we stage. And what's important to know in our staging is that we are staging a home in a divorce situation where the buyer who's looking doesn't know what's going on. We don't want to give them any stories or think that you're in a desperate situation. So we will, if one of the spouses has already moved out, we will bring clothing in and things to make it look like both parties are living there. And we will, really try to make that space as pure as we can so that it just looks like a normal situation. We also provide estate sales, and we'll also sell individual items for clients. And we also do photo scanning, which is really helpful in a divorce situation when there might be photo albums that both parties want. We have really great photo digital scanning with a DSLR camera. So the scan quality is excellent. And the other thing that's really important to note is if there is a home to sell, we actually partner with the DeVore Realty Group in something called Moving Towards Tomorrow, where he will actually provide Silver Linings Transition services when he helps buy or sell a home. And one of the great options for the home sale is that he actually offers a renovate to sell situation. So if there's work that needs to be done, that work can be taken out of escrow and neither party has to come up with the money. But what I've discovered is that most people can make a lot more money if the home has been renovated, if that's necessary. Of course, there's also traditional sale and an as-is quick sale. But in any of those scenarios, he will include Silver Linings Transition services, and many times that will include everything that we provide. So the night that I moved into my new home, I didn't have to unpack a single box. I could park my garage I could park my car in the garage, and I was able to relax and take a bubble bath. And that's what I want for divorcing people. So if you are someone who thinks you have to keep the home and you don't know that there are other options, I would love to talk to you more. For more information, you can reach us at the 760-522-1624. There's also a specific divorce, moving during divorce tab on our website, but moving does not have to be stressful. Divorce is hard enough. Let us take this off of your plate.